All right, so we're actually swinging back to round one. Looking at another Shadowforce game. If you didn't look at the other one, it's definitely very interesting on one of the newer maps as well. But we are here on Castaway. Shadowforce versus Amarkand, two of, like, quite simply, the best players in the game. So seeing them square off in round one, you know it's going to be a good event. What event? This is from Fright Night 14. Of course, the prizes are provided by the devs. The devs are also giving me coffee. Why? Because I am part of the content affiliate program, and of course, devs give me coffee producing Phobies content. Getting that out of the way as we begin with some fairly standard opener, or seemingly standard opener on this new map from Shadowforce. Interesting response from Amarkand. I feel obligated to point out this game is about twice as long. Fair. Is it? It's pretty close. It's pretty close. For anybody confused, we're watching this live on my Twitch stream. Link, of course, in the description. Likes and subscribes, all that fun stuff. You know how the deal goes. I'm not going to repeat it. I want to talk about Phobies. I want to talk about Phobies. We get a Ray Chargels, who I'm still very confused as to why the hell Ray Chargels has horns. But okay. All right, no spoilers, but we did see Stabby in the previous game from Shadowforce. We'll see how it does here. Turrets on this map is kind of interesting. Both players are playing this much more defensively. We clearly haven't seen too many games on this map, but we did see a hilarious one that got highlighted on a previous stream, and that was, why was it so hilarious? Well, we got Jaws racing against Werewolf. Because why the hell not? All right, now we're getting the more standard stuff. This is interesting because Attractor has been the talk of the town as of late because we did get the recent balance patch, and of course there are no Phobie bans in this event. There were map bans, but the players are choosing those round by round. Attractor escaped the ban hammer, or the both the ban hammer and the nerf hammer, for lack of a better way to put it, from the devs in the recent patch. So as a result, we're going to see Attractor showing up here in its unnerfed form. Not that there is a nerf form. And people have been whining about Attractor. A lot of people have been whining about Attractor. So is it actually the terror that everybody thinks it is, or does Amarkand have a game plan to defeat it? 6 keys to 7. Amarkand with the slight lead there, going second. Naturally, you got that extra key. But we are getting a Shove Shark. Another guy probably on the the short nerf list. The watch list, if you will, for my events at the very least. Attractor is on that list. Phantom is on that list. Shove Shark is on that list. There's a few Phobies that are floating around there. But we get an Attractor mirror. Let's see how this plays out. Obviously, only one Attractor can walk away the victor in this particular scenario. Which one's it going to be? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Phobies for Amarkand. 6 also for Shadowforce. Banking up to 8 on our blue player's side. Nope. That guy looks familiar. You may have seen this Phobie before. That is, in fact, the boss man himself. Coming down, threatening catastrophe for Amarkand's board, but, boss has recently been nerfed. There's no cupcake on the board, which also has been nerfed, so you can't see it popping out of spawn. It's out of range anyway. If it wanted to try and buff up ye old boss here, no Gonzo, no Scritch. So that Attractor is pretty safe from getting cooked for now. No terraforms notably from either player, so you can't necessarily go in and either create an obstacle to get a good Attractor pull, no heebie-jeebie specials, nothing along those lines. So we're actually just going to get the standoff. 1 keys look like they're going to be trading places a little bit. We can get a fairly safe Ray Chargels takedown. I'm pretty sure I can one-shot this cowbell. Yep. Cooking a cowbell, and that means that we get a Razor Mouth stemming the bleeding a little bit, but still Shadowforce retaining a panic point advantage. 10 keys to 13. Definitely very close game. Both players now with a freed up slot on their team, but Amarkand is going to... Okay, I was going to say Amarkand has to make a play because they're behind, but it would appear that Shadowforce is going to make that play for them. Akira coming down, also recently on the nerf list. So we have several nerf... All right, we're just doing Everybody thinks this is February 2024 pre-patch. Everybody forgot. Old habits die hard. Other cliches. I don't know. We're going into an Akira off. Who's got the better Akira skills? And this is something that, even in light of the Akira nerf, is something that I've said for a while. People may not like Akira. They may not like what it does to the game, but I think you would be hard-pressed to say that Akira is not a skill-testing phobie. Ultimately, Akira is going to force you to reconsider pretty much all your moves. And remember, this is all arena, so it's going to get real sticky real fast because, hilariously enough, the Akira animation might be considered one of its larger balancing points. The classic Stabby Evo Attractor Shove Shark Akira mirror match. Yes, the soon-to-be classic. This is where we need the usual day 9 quote. But you can't just go get them in this one. You have to actually battle it out. You're not going to be able to just sprint across the map. But as mentioned, Amarkand does have to do something. Assuming no change in board state, eventually Amarkand loses. This is why I'm of the opinion every single map should have an odd number of panic points. Always. Hashtag just saying. As a very rusty player, I must say this is the most wild game I've ever seen. You came in late. You missed the previous one, Taco. The previous one was even more insane. But there's plenty of more games to look at. So players are, of course, just trying to ensure that their major players for Shadowforce, that's going to be Attractor, Boss, Akira, whereas Amarkand has the Attractor, Akira. Trying to ensure that they don't get taken down. We get our first Akira pull. This is going to yield... Yep. We get the snipe here onto the Attractor, so that's one key component down. We get the boop here. Get a little backward stabby attack. Yeah, I know that happens. It's okay. I'm not going to lie, this wasn't the world's most impressive set of Akira pulls, but it did yield a takedown, and I don't know that Shadowforce is truly in a position to capitalize. I'm not going to lie, I kind of feel as though there was a Akira pole play here. If nothing else, you're fired and probably light up the Stabby Cyclops Akira combo. I don't know that I love this. Well, maybe not. Never mind. I thought they were going to live. I didn't want to pause it and click on it to see how much health was there, but obviously Shadowforce did the math. Trading 6 keys for 10, it would appear. I'm not exactly a mathologist. Yes, I know the word is mathematician. It's funnier to say mathologist. But I'm pretty sure that 10 is bigger than 6. The last I checked. So that leaves Shadowforce with, to be honest, one of their signature phobies in Boss. We get a blue? You know, I don't hate it. Akira does have AoE damage. Attractor has an AoE. Blue gets stapled onto whatever phobia you want, and then all of a sudden the AoE becomes, we'll say, problematic to utilize. And, of course, blue can slowly bully your opponent's team because they're going to have to interact with it at some point. Forgot that this game is like a year old now, meaning that people having Akira is more common. Well, it's officially 2 years old, Taco. 2 years as of the beginning of this month. Numbskull. Honestly, Amarkand still has a whole bunch more turns. Since they use their Akira first, they're going to get to use it first again. Cooldown's coming off first. And they maintained their Attractor. This boss hasn't really... I don't know. Haven't been impressed by the boss yet. Maybe that nerf is exactly what was needed. I'm just going to see what... We got one more turn on cooldown. I know that's what everybody's thinking. Like, how much longer is the cooldown? But that's the only thing that matters at this point, right? The game is not going to end before Akira comes off cooldown, and it's just simply going to be, can Amarkand get an Akira yoink that is significant enough to cause the end of this game? Ooh, the blue positioning. You're fired. This is brutal. Is it enough, though? That's not a ton of damage. That's still a very alive team. Got a yoink boss getting a taste of his own medicine. Now, admittedly, there's not a lot of counterattack damage due to the blue. But that boss is cooked. Literally. Hilariously, the numbskull can't kill the boss. Probably just enough damage to put it in range. Just tickling the Akira a little bit. That... Yeah, that was the game, like, right on the spot. The loss of the boss means there was basically no damage remaining for Shadowforce, and Amarkand, despite being powered down by blue, could have just easily pushed out. GG. Well played.